I've been thinking about anti-fragility this week, as demonstrated in my Substack, but I feel some of the ideas I didn't quite get on the page, and so I thought I'd use this space to take a deeper dive into what this means. What is anti-fragility? Not as a concept, but it's a condition people are quietly failing to meet without ever being told the rules. There's an assumption baked into modern life that human beings should be able to move indefinitely inside complex systems without ever understanding how those systems work, what they're designed to preserve, or where their limits actually are. And when that assumption breaks down, the result isn't curiosity, it's panic. The panic I'm talking about isn't dramatic. It doesn't announce itself as fear. It shows up as low-grade urgency that never turns off. A sense that you're always behind, even when nothing obvious is wrong. That your attention is constantly needed elsewhere. That rest requires some kind of justification. Most people interpret this as a personal failure of discipline or clarity, but it isn't. It's what happens when someone realizes, often subconsciously, that they are fully embedded in systems they were trained to enter but never taught how to examine. Modern systems don't present themselves as systems. They present themselves as reality. Work, healthcare, education, technology, finance, reputation. These structures are treated as neutral backdrops rather than designed environments, which means most people never learn to distinguish between participation and dependence. As long as these systems function quietly, dependence feels like stability. When they falter, through economic pressures, illness, relational strain, or simple aging, what becomes visible isn't just vulnerability, it's architectural fragility. One of the ways this fragility is concealed is through speed. Systems don't just require participation, they impose tempo. Response windows shorten, decisions accelerate, availability becomes assumed. Speed gives the impression of efficiency, but what it actually does is eliminate margin, and margin is the only thing that allows a human life to absorb shock without collapsing. When everything must be handled immediately, nothing can be handled carefully. But speed alone isn't what exhausts people. What breaks them is the accumulation of decisions required to keep up with it. Not meaningful decisions, by the way, administrative ones. Choices made with partial information, under artificial urgency, with real consequences. Over time, this creates a condition where the nervous system never fully stands down, not because danger is constant, but because evaluation never stops. That state gets mislabeled as anxiety. In reality, it's saturation. Laying a floor doesn't work this way. The material sets the limits. The body sets the pace. The work constrains the number of decisions available at any given moment. You measure, you cut, you place, and then you wait. The work refuses optimization. That isn't inefficiency, it's containment. And containment is something modern systems rarely allow. Anti-fragility isn't toughness, and it isn't escape. It's the deliberate refusal to build a life that can only survive under perfect conditions. It's the discipline of reducing unnecessary dependence, not by withdrawing from the world, but by reordering how much of your survival, identity, and moral formation you outsource to structures that were never designed to carry them. Anti-fragility accepts responsibility without demanding control. And the distinction does truly matter. Christ never lived at system speed. He responded to people, not schedules. He accepted interruption. He withdrew without any explanation. That wasn't inefficiency. It was fidelity to a different ordering of life, one where presence mattered more than thought put, and responsibility wasn't measured by responsiveness. Modern systems cannot tolerate that posture. Faith? Faith requires it. If life feels exhausting, even when it appears stable, the problem may not be motivation or discipline or resilience. It may be that your life is structured to demand more speed, more decisions, and more dependence than a human nervous system can bear indefinitely. Anti-fragility doesn't begin with action. It begins with the willingness to see clearly and to accept the responsibility that clarity, what it actually inevitably brings. Not mastery, not escape, but ordered participation in a world that was never meant to save you.